Hello, Maverick traders, and welcome back. This is Ankit here, and Happy New Year to all of you. Let's now get back in the routine. Take a look at the markets on a Wednesday, January the 3rd. Let's get into it. Let's break down today's market price action. Take a look at what really moved in the markets. Take a look at our sector heat map, and take a look at some possible setups ahead. Now, let's get into it.
Disclaimer. This video was created for professional stock and option traders. Maverick Trading is a proprietary trading firm that employs professional traders around the world. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits they generate. All trades and analysis in this video are for professional traders only. If you are interested in becoming a professional trader for Maverick, click the Apply button in the video description. Let's break down what happened today.
So looking at our market analysis today, we are seeing a continuation of a pullback in the equity market. So nothing really changed from yesterday. As we take a look at the chart for the S&P 500, we are now testing a 20-day moving average. So this is, again, something expected. We had a stellar performance in the last couple of months. So we're just starting off with some pullback. We're seeing a little bit more slide in the Nasdaq, but overall, a similar story there. I mean, taking a look at the Nasdaq here below that 20-day moving average. So what we're seeing, again, usually this is the time of the year where we see the outperformers start to underperform and the underperformers start to outperform. So there's a bit of a sector rotation happens. What we're noticing is a bit of a selling. You know, a lot of people held on to their positions into the year end are now just, making changes to their portfolio. Still pretty early to call where the market's going to go, but that's really where we are. So if you just take a look at the numbers today, the Dow Jones was one of the worst performer. Taking a look at the small caps, they were both pretty equally down. Now the S&P down 0.85% and the Nasdaq down 1.12%. Oil was up nicely at 3.78%, and gold is pulling as well. So you can see that all the outperformers, equity markets, ran quite a bit in November and December. They're pulling back. Even gold that ran very nicely is pulling back now as well. And oil was quite negative, is jumping up a little bit here. So a bit of a rotation happening there. You can see that outside of that, the advanced decline ratio today was really bad. Again, 73% onto the downside and 23% of the upside. But what's better over here is that just to take a look at the stocks above that 50-day moving average, we're sitting at 79% versus 21% to the down below that 50. So overall, the market breadth looks good. Again, I think this is just going to provide some good buying opportunities after this pullback is finished. But you can see that right now, the main stuff is pulling. Apple, Amazon. We are seeing Tesla down. So some of the big numbers, the higher weighted stocks are moving down. But I saw most of that, you can see that it's pretty much red. The only bright sector is really the energy. Energy is moving up across the board. So maybe we can look at that. But outside of that, it looks kind of pretty red there. So if we take a look at our outlook here, we're sitting at about +1. So the scoring is now pulling back a little bit. So we were sitting at +3. Markets were melting up. That's no longer the case. So this is where we just have to be patient. If you think this is a bull pullback, we just need to get a bit of a confirmation that, yes, market wants to turn here. But if you take a look at price action today, we closed at the lows of the day. So that's not what we want to see, especially if you're looking for a turnaround in this movement here. So overall, the monthly outlook still stays strong. And let's see how long this pullback lasts before we can make a turnaround. If you take a look at the potential setups ahead, again, I have a couple on the bullish side and a couple on the bearish side. So let's just take a look at the first one I like on the upside is PDD. You can see going sideways, even a day like today, it did actually go up instead of going down. So this is, again, depending on your strategy and your timeline. I like this to be playing more sideways to up. Again, we haven't really have a confirmation yet on a breakout, but we have a nice little range here between the 140 and the 150. So it's a nice little $10 range that we can find here. The other one I really like is the Palantir. You can see this one stayed weak for the most part for the last couple of months, especially the last month. December was pretty weak, and here we are moving lower. So this is, again, the support level is sitting at about 14. It's sitting at 16. So depending on your strategy, how aggressive you want to be, I think that's the area that I'll be looking at. Again, I think we're starting out new positions here. I will be looking more into January and maybe a little later February. So I think this is the time of the year where it's just too early to make the call where the market's going to go. We see these pullbacks, we see some extensions, but right now we're definitely seeing a pullback here. So markets are in a correction phase. That's really where we are at. So we want to be a little patient here. Only 2 days into the markets, we are seeing some economic data which is coming back in focus. We're looking at the employment report tomorrow, the ADP number, and then on Friday we have the official non-farm payrolls report, unemployment claims tomorrow as well. Not a whole lot on the earnings front, but that's really where we're at. So stay patient. We have a long year ahead of us. So let's just see how markets pan out, and we'll be keeping everyone up to date. Cheers, everyone. Have a good evening.